So I will start with the introduction on the principles of mass immunization campaigns. In this course, I will assume that the viewer has some basic knowledge about immunization and disease control. Therefore, I will skip over some of the basic principles and definitions. For those who may need some basic introduction to the subject, I refer them to alternative resources such as Learn the Basics of Vaccines, from how they work to how they are recommended for use by the Philadelphia College of Physicians, and other resource materials. But first, let's look into the challenges we are trying to address. 1. Many mass immunization efforts suffer from poor planning, especially at the micro level, leading to underperformance in target coverage and inefficient use of resources. What can we do about this? Secondly, how can we respond to vaccine hesitancy and poor uptake that often stem from ineffective communication strategies and the failure to involve trusted local influencers, or to address misinformation in the communities? Thirdly, why are campaigns often treated as isolated events rather than opportunities to strengthen long-term health systems and improve the understanding in the areas where the vaccination is taking place? How can we resolve such a challenge? Fourth, we also have other problems or challenges with distribution, cold chain management, injection safety, frequent operational challenges like transport and logistics, and particularly in the hard to reach or conflict affected regions. This course is deemed to shed light on all these matters. Fifth, what must we do to fill the gaps in the accountability, learning of lessons, and the future preparedness brought about by lack of real-time monitoring and robust campaign evaluations? During mass immunization campaigns, a large number of people, which can be called the target, are vaccinated in a relatively short time, often within a number of days or a few weeks. The main objective of mass vaccination is to rapidly increase the population immunity in the setting of an ongoing or potential outbreak of disease, or to rapidly increase coverage with a new vaccine at the time of its introduction in order to attain disease control standards. Mass campaigns can be selective, where the history of vaccination or history of natural disease are used to exclude those who will not be vaccinated. On the other hand, they can be non-selective, where all population within a target area are to be vaccinated irrespective of such history. Another targeting approach may be by geographical approach, like nationwide, the whole country, or subnational, covering one or more lower level administrative units. From the outset, what the campaign is set to achieve, or which might be referred to as objective, and the definition of success, what will be a successful campaign, should be well stated and understood by all actors and stakeholders. Historically, mass campaigns were first used in the 18th century to control outbreaks of smallpox in Europe. Subsequently, we know that Dr. Albert Sabin, the developer of the oral polio vaccine, or OPV, championed the application of mass campaigns to interrupt polio transmission in the Americas in the 80s. Other concrete examples of mass campaigns include the World Health Organization's intensified smallpox eradication program, which was launched in 1967 and which led to the eradication of smallpox, and the Polio Eradication Initiative, which was led by WHO, UNICEF, US CDC, and the Rotary Foundation, which saw the reduction of wild poliovirus endemicity from so many countries across the globe to just 2, Pakistan and Afghanistan, by the 2020. Another example is the diphtheria mass immunization program in the former Soviet countries, where up to 140 million adults, adolescents, and children were vaccinated in 1994-1995 to control the diphtheria epidemic. Another one again is the 2010 meningococcal conjugate vaccine campaign in Burkina Faso in Africa, where 11 million children and young adults were vaccinated in just 9 days. Yet others are the very successful measles mass campaigns that were led by the Measles and Rubella Initiative between 2001 and 2012, and which led to dramatic reduction in measles and rubella incidence in the 62 high-burden countries. But many people would be more familiar with the more recent COVID-19 immunization response, where billions of doses of vaccines were administered in over 100 countries between 2021 and 2022. At this point, I think it is important too, and I hasten to add here, that the fact that low numbers of proven adverse reactions or even deaths, despite multiple examples of tens of millions or even billions of doses of vaccines administered, is a very strong testament to the safety of vaccines that are approved for use by strong regulatory authorities like the World Health Organization, the US Food and Drug Administration, or the European Medicines Agencies. For purposes of structure, a given immunization campaign can be divided into 3 phases. There's first the planning and preparation, implementation and monitoring, and finally evaluation and documentation phases. I will go on to elaborate on all these 3 phases.